Welcome back to Movie Bites. Today, we'll be diving into a 1997 Canadian sci-fi thriller film titled Cube. Fair warning, we've got spoilers ahead, so brace yourself for an exhilarating ride. The movie unfolds with a man waking up in a mysterious empty white room, with small square doors on 6 sides of the room. Opening one door, he saw another identical empty room, differing only in color. He then decided to enter the orange room, only to be sliced by a thin mesh wire, killing him before he even realized what had happened. We then move on to another white room, where a man named Quentin had met with another man named Worth. When he heard a door opening, he positioned himself under the door, prepared to ambush whoever emerged. As a woman was crawling in, Quentin quickly grabbed her and threw her inside the room. Shocked by the sudden attack, the woman screamed in terror for her life and crawled to the corner. Her name was Holloway. This made Quentin quickly apologized for his action. Their interaction was interrupted when they heard someone screaming for help from the other rooms. Quentin quickly rushed to the source of the scream and saw a woman in the other room, which he brought to safety. Her name was Levin. Upon entering the safe room, Levin dropped her glasses and quickly cowered to the edge of the room. Quentin then warned everyone of the possible dangers in the other rooms, as he encountered a trap that almost led him to his demise in another room earlier. Suddenly, the door above them opened and a man entered the room by climbing down. His name was Ren. This man was strangely calm, unlike the other 4 who were freaking out. Without any words, Ren took off his boots and threw them into one of the rooms, which triggered the trap in it, burning the boots. He then told the groups that the traps were triggered via various sensors, which reassured the group as it meant there was a way to test the rooms for traps. Following Ren, they then entered a green room. In the midst of it, they suddenly heard a loud mechanical rumbling, as if something was moving. Ren then reassured them that it was just the air vents and shouldn't concern them. Levin also noticed a number in the doorway, initially thinking it was a room number. As the number was in the range of millions, they speculated there might be millions of rooms. Hearing this, Holloway quickly realized that they would only have 3 days to escape from all the rooms, as human bodies would cease to function within 3 days without food or water, panicking the group even more. Annoyed by Holloway's ramblings, Ren told her to suck on her shirt's button to keep her saliva flowing, which should help her last more than 3 days. Upon opening one of the doors, Ren realized the air was dry and speculated that the next room might have traps with chemical sensors. Quentin then wondered why the old man was so knowledgeable on sensors, only to realize that Ren was an expert escape artist who had escaped from 7 prisons in the past. Knowing he was the group's chance of making out alive, he started taking charge and told everyone to focus on his lead or they will be left behind. Ren then entered a blue room which he deemed safe. However, as soon as his feet touched the floor, a machine sprayed a liquid on his face, causing him to let out an agonizing scream. The group quickly pulled Ren back into a safe room to try to save him. Unfortunately, the liquid had melted a hole in his face, ending his life. This made the group hopeless. Even so, Quentin refused to give up and reassessed the situation. He then recalled that Levin was allowed to keep her glasses, to which he guessed that there must have been a reason for it. He then told her to read the room's number again, which made her realize that the room with traps had prime numbers. Levin's math genius and eidetic memory proved to be their saving grace. Using her method, the group successfully traversed the rooms one after the other. They then arrived in a green room where the doors on all 4 sides and the floor had prime numbers, leading to traps, leaving only the door to the roof. Quentin then climbed up to the roof and opened the door. As soon as he opened the door, a man fell through it. This man was Kazan. After getting up, he then proceeded to bang his head against the wall several times, until Holloway stopped him. It appeared that Kazan was mentally handicapped, which annoyed the group. The group then proceeded to a red room, with Holloway entering first. As soon as she entered, she started showing breathing difficulties, which made the group think there was a gas trap in room. It turned out that Holloway had just swallowed the button she was sucking on, which annoyed the group for scaring them. Quentin then proceeded to a white room, which was deemed safe by Levin. However, when he entered the room, he noticed a thin string closing in. Luckily, he managed to get away with only a cut on his leg. This made Quentin upset, while Levin didn't understand why her system failed. While Levin was trying to recall the numbers she had seen and tried to work them out, Quentin confronted Worth, whom he suspected to be a spy, as Worth had not contributed anything to the group. After much pressure, Worth finally revealed himself to be the architect of the outer shell of the building they're in. This revelation made everyone upset, especially Quentin, as he started to knock Worth's socks out. Worth then revealed the outer shell's dimension to Levin, which made her realize that the numbers were not meant to be read as three-dimensional coordinates. With this information, Levin calculated that they were only 7 rooms apart from the edge of the maze. The group then moved onwards, but realized all the other rooms were full of traps. Furthermore, the room they're in had coordinates that indicated they were outside of the building. Not wanting to go back, they decided to enter one of the rooms with a sound sensor. They carefully went through the room one by one, trying their best not to make any noise. When it was Quentin's turn, however, Kazan started shouting, which activated the trap, almost killing Quentin. This made Quentin furious and wished to get rid of Kazan, only to be stopped by Holloway. A fight broke out between Quentin and Holloway, which ended with her getting slapped. Levin immediately stopped them from fighting and told Worth to open the final door to the edge. To their surprise, all they could see was a bottomless abyss. Holloway then volunteered to go outside, strapped with a makeshift rope and held by the rest of the group. Unfortunately, a sudden rumble made the group lose their grip. Luckily, Quentin managed to get hold of the rope but decided to drop her to her death. He then lied to the group, telling them that Holloway had slipped, to the group's disbelief. As everyone was tired, they decided to get some shut-eye. After everyone was asleep, Quentin brought Levin to another room, attempting to seduce her. This creeped Levin out and pushed Quentin away. Worth then rushed in to stop Quentin, only to be thrown to the bottom room. Luckily, Worth didn't die, and he started laughing maniacally. As the group dropped down, they saw a Ren body, making them think that they had been going in circles. This plunged everyone into despair, as they had no idea what was happening anymore. Worth then decided to open another door and was shocked to see the outside again. The group recalled that every door in the room was supposed to lead to another room. Seeing the outside again made them realize that the rooms were moving this whole time, and that was what caused the mechanical rumbling they heard earlier. Furthermore, Levin also realized that the numbers were not only telling them their position but also where the room was going to be. With this new information, Levin speculated that the room with the coordinates outside of the maze must have been the true room that would lead them outside. She also figured out that the rooms with traps were not indicated by prime numbers, but by the power of a prime. The problem was that it was impossible for her to calculate a number so large without a computer. This enraged Quentin, causing them to fight. Suddenly, Kazan shouted out a number, which turned out to be the root prime of the room number. Kazan turned out to be an autistic savant, capable of doing mental factorization. Using his newfound skill, Quentin forced Kazan and Levin to do the calculations to find the safe room. They then entered the safe room, with Quentin being the last. However, as Quentin tried to enter the room, Worth quickly jammed the door to Quentin's head but failed to keep him away as Quentin was too strong. A furious Quentin then tried to confront Worth, only to fall to his apparent death. The group then continued forward and successfully reached the true room ahead of schedule. Levin and Worth crossed to the true room successfully, but the room started moving again before Kazan managed to cross. Luckily, they still heard Kazan's voice, implying he was close by. Worth then decided to save Kazan and traversed to another room. Worried about their safety, Levin then started walking back and forth when she groaned in pain after stepping on glass shrapnel. She noticed it was a piece from her glasses that fell earlier when they met and realized the first room where they all met was the true room after all this time. Worth managed to save Kazan and bring him back to the true room just in time. The rooms then started moving again, and they entered a red room, where Kazan opened the final door, showing bright lights leading to the outside. However, Worth decided to stay back, as he believed there was nothing for him on the outside. Levin then encouraged Worth to leave with her, but she felt a sudden pain in her back. It turned out that Quentin had survived his fall and managed to catch up with the group. Worth then tried to fight him, but was beaten and stabbed. Kazan quickly stepped outside of the maze, followed closely by Quentin. Fortunately, Worth was still alive and with his last ounce of strength, managed to get hold of Quentin's leg, preventing him to cross over to the outside. The room then started to move again, and with Quentin stuck in the doorway, it ripped off his body in half. In Worth's final moments, he crawled to Levin's body to die alongside her. The movie ends with Kazan walking towards the bright light to his freedom. Thanks for watching. If you liked my video, don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss our next videos.